Hello there. Happy Tuesday. I'm sorry, not even Tuesday. Oh my gosh. Happy Thursday. It's been a day. My son reached out to you guys earlier this week to offer you a free video showing some things you can do to boost your business and increase your sales. And this is your custom video that we've created for you. As he mentioned, there's no selling in the video. We absolutely believe that givers gain, so we try to make a few of these videos every week for free and share them with other business owners just to kind of contribute to community, business community, and foster relationship, and also just to help people. It's good to take time out of your day to help others. So with that in mind, your feedback would be helpful to us. So please let us know what you thought about the video. Any feedback whatsoever, good or bad, would be most appreciated. So let's get started. I'm going to cover content, backlinks, and citations and why these are important website elements for you to have. We'll go over your company's online presence, and I'll make recommendations for improvement if I see any. So content is anything that appears on your website. It's the words, the images, the videos, the file names. It's anything. You want to have sufficient content on your website because this is how Google finds out what it is you do. If you don't have enough content, then Google will not crawl your page, will not spend time getting to know what you do, and as a result, you will not get the visibility that you deserve. Ideally, you want to have 1,500 words on your homepage and 500 at least on your back pages. Citations are found in directories like Google, Yelp, Yellow Pages. It's your business name, your address, and your phone number. And you want to get as many of these on the internet as you can and more than your competition. This helps you to rank with Google. Backlinks are the placement of your website address onto other websites. So if you think about like Twitter, LinkedIn, Yelp, Yellow Pages, Facebook, any of these, if your website address is listed on these are considered backlinks because they are directing traffic away from those sites back to your website. The more backlinks you have, the more popular your website actually becomes. Google places extremely high emphasis on how many backlinks a website has. So the more the better, and you want to make sure they're relevant to your line of work. Okay, so if you're in construction, home improvement, you want to make sure those are the backlinks that you're getting. You wouldn't be focused on auto body shops or nail salons or anything like that, okay? Because that would just flag you with Google and that would not be good. So let's jump into Google for a moment. I'm going to come back to your website. I do have some feedback there. Just first off, it's a nice looking website, okay? But let's jump into Google first. So in Google, what people do is they type in an organic keyword search. They usually start with the keywords describing the service or product that they're looking for, and then they follow it with the location, right? So Fort Washington in this case. So what we are doing is taking a look at Google, and usually what happens is we're presented with some advertisements. The advertisements are okay. One thing to note is that some people will not see the ads because they have ad blockers on their computers. The other thing to note is sometimes among the ads, you'll see like Home Advisor, A&G, there's one. These services are okay as a supplement to your marketing plan, but most businesses don't realize that those services charge you a lead charge, right? So every lead that you get, you pay for that lead, whether or not you land it. And on top of that, that same lead is being shared with up to 4 other companies. So all 5 companies paying the same price for the same lead, and only one company will get that lead. So what I try to do is show you things that you can do to your website to become your hardest worker. And aside from yourself and your staff, your website can be your hardest worker. And so what we're looking at right now on the page is called the map pack. This is the Google area where most of the traffic is taking place. This is where Google lists the top 3 businesses in a search. So for home improvement contractors, Fort Washington, Maryland, these 3 businesses are listed here as they are perceived by Google to be the top ranking businesses. One thing I'm going to point out to you, and this is really important because this doesn't happen a whole lot, but you see this last business right here? There's no website. No website whatsoever. That means to me this is considered low-hanging fruit. In other words, it would be pretty easy for you if you do this properly and take advantage of the tips I'm going to give you. You can easily bump them out of their place here in this map pack, okay? So further down on the page, Google continues to rank businesses. What I always recommend is try to get your business on the first 3 pages of Google, because after that, visibility just kind of diminishes over time. The further you get away, people are not really clicking that far off into Google. If you remember the last time you used Google, most likely you didn't go very far. You probably clicked on the first page. You probably even found something not in the ads, but here in the map pack. So be thinking about that. And the things that I'm sharing with you today will certainly help you to have a better chance of ranking here in the map pack, definitely bumping them out of their place, so they're quite vulnerable, or being somewhere in the first few pages, okay? So let's take a look. First of all, as I mentioned, your website is nice. I like your imagery. It's important to use images in your website, because that's what people are looking for, especially when they're looking for contractors. They're wanting to see what kind of work you do, what your quality is like, right? So it's perfect that you have these very nice photos displaying what you do. Very good idea. The other thing I would recommend, you do get a free quote here. What I would recommend instead is having like a contact form somewhere on the top of your screen. It can be very small. It doesn't have to be huge and take up too much, because you want to take advantage of your images. However, be sure to use a contact form, because if you miss calls, or if someone doesn't take the time to leave a message, at least you have a lead, right? You have a hot lead from someone who's actually looking for your service. So have a contact form where you collect a name, email address, phone number at the very least, so that you can reach out to those people who are in search of your services. The other most critical thing that's going to be, well, not critical, but essential thing that I'm going to tell you is that you need more content on your home page. Remember, 1,500 words or more on the home page, and at least 500 on your back pages. That's going to help you to outrank your competition. And that's what you want to do, right? Outranking your competition equals more leads, equals more customers, equals more sales. So that's what you're going to be thinking about. And the reason you need more content is because you need opportunities to highlight things like this: flooring services, Fort Washington, Maryland; carpentry services, Fort Washington, Maryland. The more content you have, the more opportunity you have to brag about the services. And the more content you have also, the longer Google crawls your website to gather information. And not only longer, they come more frequently. Their bots will crawl your website more frequently because they're impressed by your content. They want to make sure they're keeping abreast of what you're doing and putting you in front of customers who are looking for your services. So that's why you want to make sure you have a sufficient amount of content. The other thing, when you're saving your files, don't just number them, okay? Give them a name that describes what it is you're showing. So in this case, is this maybe a kitchen remodel or cabinet installation? That should be what you're saying here. Kitchen remodel, Fort Washington, Maryland. Cabinet refacing or refinishing, Fort Washington, Maryland. I hope that makes sense. Let me know if you have questions afterwards, okay? Also, yeah, let me go over to your data because I don't want to run out of time. I don't want to keep you all day either because I know you're busy. But when I look at your stats right now on a scale of 1 to 100, you're at a 0. This can change over time, okay? So don't be discouraged by this. The information that I'm giving you can certainly, if applied, change that number drastically. You're going to want to add more backlinks. You don't have nearly enough backlinks or referring domains right now. And right now you're not ranking for any keywords whatsoever. That means that when people search for construction services, home improvement services, kitchen remodeling, whatever, roofing repair, roofing installation, you look at this, you're getting 0 clicks. And that's because you're not ranking for any keywords, okay? You definitely need to be grabbing some keywords. Let me see if I have a moment. This is going to get long. See if I can do it quickly. Let me see if any of your competitors have any keywords that we can take a look at, just for example, so you'd have an idea of what kind of keywords you should be focusing on. Maybe no. they're not going to be a good example right now because they're not doing so hot themselves, which is another reason that you should be working on that website, optimizing that website, because you can easily bump out your competition. They're not doing half as much as they should be doing. And just by you adding content, getting those keywords in there and those backlinks and citations, you could certainly be the leader of the pack. Okay. So with that, I'm going to end this here. Please reply. Let me know you watched it. Let me know if it was helpful or not. And if you have any questions whatsoever, please let me know those too. These videos are intended to be helpful, not confusing. So if there's anything that I can clarify, or if you have a burning question, let me know and I'll be happy to answer as best I can. Otherwise, I wish you a great rest of your afternoon and much continued success for A&G Construction Services. Bye-bye.